All right, here's a hind quarter of a deer I harvested this fall. I'm going to show you how I break it down into its primal cuts. It's been hanging for 8 days. All right, so here we go. All right, first of all, it's been dried. So now I want to remove ever so slightly all that exterior skin and silver skin, any hair or debris that's remaining here. So I'm just going to remove all of this right down to the meat, hopefully not too much meat. And sometimes I get a little bit crazy and I remove a little bit too much. I know some people are probably just cringing watching me right now, but just like this, ever so slightly. And that's one of the downfalls of letting your meat age a little bit, but the tenderness, man, it's unparalleled. For the longest time, I was butchering right away. Like the meat is practically steaming when I package it. And that's not good either, but you give it time to cool off and you package it. And it wasn't as good as letting it age at least a week. Now, if you don't have a garage to do that, then just butcher it right away. That's fine. But I'll tell you, this is way better. So I'm just going to finish all this up and go around and trim all of the dried exterior off, and I'll get back to you then. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so after I trimmed up the exterior, I'm losing about 1.5 pounds in total. So take it as it is. All right, so I trimmed all the silver skin, all the dried excess off. Now I'm just going to try to get this into roast, right? So you can see there's a natural seam, okay? So I usually call this the outside flat, all right? Because here's a sirloin, but everybody calls it something different, right? So I'm just getting in here and not cutting into the meat, just cutting in to where the sinew releases the meat. Okay, so there's going to be a lot more trimming that you're going to have to do later on before you package it. But for now, this is where we just kind of separate all the main muscles. Now, if you're going to be turning this to hamburgers, so be it. That's fine. But I like to package them in manageable cuts. So now I'm kind of losing the plot here. I went a little too far, but I didn't get into the meat. That's why I flip it over, and you can see where this natural seam is right here, right? This is, you can have this and this together and just tie it and roll it. No big deal. But why not just follow the natural seam? And if you screw up, like I'm doing right now, trying to find the seam, that's okay. All right. And here is something, and it separates right there. All right. So it's not perfect. There's a little flapper there that I have. Whatever. Potato, potato. It's pretty good. All right. So I call that the outside flat. Hopefully this is coming out on camera. All right. Now there is another piece right here. Okay. So see how the outside flat between what I call the inside round, there is a little eye of round. Okay, so I'm going to release that without damaging it too much. Right, so you just kind of just touch it. Yep. And this is the eye round. It looks like a tenderloin. It's also called the poor man's tenderloin. And there it is. Okay, so where do we go now? Well, let's flip it over, see where we're at here. All right, this side's always a little bit more messy. So there's a natural seam right here, maybe. I might have screwed that up, but here we go. And usually if you follow the bone, it's a good indication. I'm going to follow this one. Maybe clear out a little bit where the bone is. Essentially, you're kind of deboning it, right? So you're running your knife along the femur without trying to cut yourself. I already cut myself. That's why I'm wearing the glove here. Excuse the glove. That was unrelated to butchering. I broke a cup in the sink and was trying to catch it because it was a special one. And I ended up smashing my hand against a shard, and there we go. So, all right, so you can see I'm just going around the bone right now. I'm not going too deep, and around the joint. Now, this is usually sometimes a bugger, right? But you just got to go slow, right? Not too deep. I hope I'm getting this on camera right now. And as close to the bone as possible. And I'm not going to get crazy right now, but I'm going to release this inside around. So I'm going to follow this seam right here. So you can see where the silver skin is. I can almost just pull it apart if I wanted to. Right, so right there. And just follow it down. Now, I can almost just pull it apart here. Right? To see how it's going here. So I'm just going to maybe just shave a little bit off. And it's almost falling apart just like it is right there. I call this the inside round in Canada. Or inside flat. Or some people call it the bottom sirloin, or... But anyways, you can cut this into steaks if you want. This is nice and tender. But this isn't, in my world, a sirloin quite yet. All right, so I'm not going to bore you with trimming. Here you go, nice little roast. So here is the sirloin. So here's the bottom butt. Actually, you know what? Let's get this bottom butt out of the way here. So the bottom butt, it's tougher a little bit, but it rolls up into a roast mighty good too, right? You gotta trim that up, but there's your bottom butt. And here is your top sirloin. Just gonna carve it along the joint here so it releases, and hopefully not too much of the cartilage. And here you go. That's kind of sloppy here to kind of trim this up. You know what? I'll show you how I tie these afterwards. And now we got some osso buco, I guess, right? So you're getting into the shank here. So basically this is going to be trim meat for grounds. So I'll trim this off and I'll show you how I tie these guys. All right, let's tie up this sirloin. So I'm just going to create a little slip knot right at the end. Trim it off. And I'm just going to grab this and cinch it up. So what I'm doing is grabbing the loop and spinning it and sliding it under and lining up where I got to cinch it in. And so once again, and slide it in and cinch it. So I'll do one more and right to the end. And now you'll turn it upside down and do the same thing up top there, just to kind of keep it all aligned, right? Because you'll want to keep the end all together. So every second loop, you'll feed it. All right. Give it a little tighten. And you'll want this piece to keep this all tucked in. And feed it over here. And tie a little knot. And there we go. One roast tide. All right, so I'll just give you a quick demo on how I do packaging. I just use the regular butcher paper. So this is a pretty big piece, but I'll keep this whole in case I want to do something with it later on. So I got it this length. So you want to push it down to the end, all right? So I haven't cleaned this with water or anything. See how this just sticks to it? It's almost seals it, right? Make sure the wax paper is on the meat, okay? Now you roll it and press it in, all right? And I roll it till the seam is right down the middle. So this is really tight. Now cryovac, sure, that's absolutely wonderful. But I don't have the money for that right now. And I've always done it this way. I've packaged deer 2 years. You know, you get that odd couple packages that are in there for 2 years and not freezer burnt, right? Because I'm not putting water on here, because as soon as you put water on here, it's gonna actually crystallize on the outside, okay? Or also if you package your deer when it's warm, right, it's gonna steam, okay? And then it's also going to get freezer burnt, right? So right now it's perfectly good that way. So now I take the ends, just like wrapping a Christmas present, and fold it over. Now, if you don't have much room on this side, just kind of squish it down a little bit. All right, that seems about right. And fold it. Another piece of tape. Now try to keep it as clean as possible. I don't know, it's just me being anal. And kind of fold it this way. Fold it in again. And seal it up. Let's see how that is now. Not bad. Now if you want to go this way, that's fine too. I'll just take a longer piece and do that and do that. So now they're not going to get into this at all, just like my mother's Christmas presents. And label it however you want. So I think it looks pretty good. That's how I package deer.